steep point, it's the most westerly point. That's alright!
That's as close to heaven as I get.
Come on! That was fantastic. You know that Morska advert? Too close to me.
Look at that.
This is where they breed tropical fish. We're going to have a little look around.
We've 7 of them on guard. At the same price, they're $2 each or 3 for $5.
So our plan this morning is to get ready as fast as we possibly can, and then we're going to head over to Derby for lunch, and then from there we start the Gibb River Road.
Alright, my bag's ready, your bag's ready, girls' bags are ready.
I'm melting.
Good girl. As you can see on the map here, Derby is located in King Sound, which is this bay. They have some of the biggest tides here in the world of nearly 12 metres. So they've got the massive amount of water rushing in and rushing out. Because the water's moving so much, it's always very brown and murky from all the silt that basically comes down the Fitzroy River. This is the start of the Gibb River Road, which is a big part of the trip that we've certainly been looking forward to. And by all accounts, it's in as good a condition as it ever is. It's straight after the wet and it's been graded. From what we've heard, it's not too bad.
The Gibb River Road runs between Derby on the western side of the Kimberley and Kununurra on the east. It runs right through the heart of the Kimberley, and apart from flying, it's the only way in and out. For travellers like us, it's the best way to explore the Kimberley, and another reason why having a four-wheel drive is the best way to drive around Australia. Today we're going as far as Windjana Gorge, where we should be able to get up and close with some freshwater crocodiles. But first we'll stop and say hello to this giant goanna, which is actually not much smaller than a crocodile.
It's about the biggest goanna I've ever seen. He must be a good 5 feet long from nose to tip of his tail. Let's see if we can get closer without getting too close. Get off the road there, buddy. Have a good place to hang out. Go on. Ready for a hike?
Oh, not a hike.
It's just a little walk, Daddy, remember?
Just a little walk. Right, everybody ready?
Yeah.
Your stuff's over here. That'll be your gear then.
Alright, let's go. So we're going to the gorge, alright?
Yeah.
Which is to the left.
Sarah, this way.
And you've got your own track, which is to the right.
No, I have to go the same way as you.
Now believe it or not, this escarpment is a fossilised coral reef that was under the sea in the Devonian period over 300 million years ago.
Look at that.
Alright.
You don't have to hold my hand.
Okay.
Anyone seen any crocodiles?
This one over here,
Where?
over the other side of the bank there. Oh, it's just a log.
The crocodile is a survivor from the age of the dinosaurs and has evolved little since that time. So a crocodile is actually a dinosaur. I looked up just after reading this dinosaur thing and it looked like there was a dinosaur poking its head out of the trees over there, but it's actually a rock. It looks like the head of one of these dinosaurs. This one here. When you look over there. Stop talking, look over there, through that tree there. See the crocodile just in it right near the bank. He won't hurt you as long as you stay away from him. See that?
Yeah. Look at all those crocodiles.
Oh, look, there's lots of them over there, isn't there?
Further, just around the next corner.
Windjana Gorge runs for about 3.5 kilometres and was carved out of the Napier Range by the Leonard River. The track runs all the way through the gorge, but we're only going a couple of kilometres today just to have a look.
What are you doing, Steve?
Oh, just whipping up a latte actually.
Yeah.
In the espresso machine we've got going here.
Trying
Keep
very
the
hard
sand-
to get the sand,
Trying to
keep
get
the sand out of
that
it.
coffee. Not quite the same as an espresso you might get, you know, cafe in Melbourne or something like that, but you're pretty close.
I've heard that this is one of the best places in Australia for viewing freshwater crocodiles up close in the wild, like this one just cruising past us looking for a feed. These crocs are so used to seeing people that they're not even afraid. Mind you, they don't like it when you get too close. We're heading down to have a look at Tunnel Creek, which is about 35 kilometres from Windjana Gorge and runs right through the escarpment. We've made it into the start of Tunnel Creek here. This tunnel goes about half a k through the bottom of the escarpment here. Comes out the other side. We're going to go and have a look, and apparently there's pools to wade through, and you've got to watch your head, don't bang it on the rocks, and we've got our little miners' torches on, so we're all organised. How's it going, guys? All right?
No.
Yeah. I'm going fine.
No, I'm not.
This is a bit where we start getting our feet wet.
Yeah. So I don't have good light.
It's very dark in here.
I can hear that.
I can't see the bats anyway. Can you show me?
How you going there, baby? All right? Yeah. How you going there, Jen?
Alright.
You cave, are you? How you going, Savannah? You okay?
He's alright.
You go, baby, all right? You okay? Yeah, good girl. You brave girl. Now we can see light down there. Look at that, we're nearly there.
Almost there.
Getting water.
Okay. Well, it's not the end. It's a cave in the middle.
One cave.
So let's see how far further it goes.
Okay, this little paddle.
Into the gloom. Oh, I can see light at the end there. You're there.
Oh, yeah. Oh God. I'm particularly impressed with how brave our girls are.
Let's go. Let's go.
There's a high watermark on Sarah there.
This is, look at Daddy, look. Up to here.
I think we picked the best time of the year to tackle the Gibb River Road anyway. It's practically a highway compared to what it was last time we came down here about 10 years ago. And that was in June. We're in May now and it's just after the wet. Basically it's been graded since the wet, and without having had a lot of traffic it's still in very good condition.
Of course, there's plenty of creek crossings to keep it interesting. We're on our way to the campground at Silent Grove, which is about 10 kilometres off the Gibb River Road in the King Leopold Ranges Conservation Park.
Another creek crossing.
We've made it before dark, which is always handy for setting up the camper.
Hello, how are you? Yeah, good.
I'm giving my grandma a call for her birthday
Happy
on the
birthday.
sat phone.
Yeah, we're good. We'll be crossing at Tanamai in about 2 weeks from now, so we will definitely check our email before then.
Jen and I took her on a 4-wheel drive trip across the Kimberley about 10 years ago, and we stayed here at Silent Grove back then.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll read all about it.
Good, happy birthday. It's a bit funny, isn't it, talking on these things?
This morning we're heading out for a look at Bell Gorge, but this tour bus looks like they've managed to get bogged, so we'll stop and see if we can give them a hand. It looks like they've moved off to the side of the track to let another car pass and then got stuck in the mud. He's not going anywhere without a tow, that's for sure.
That's all right.
Another Western Exposure bus has just turned up, so they're going to try and pull him out. With their truck, they've got much more chance of getting him out than I do. Okay, well that was the easy part.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right back. The front wheel is my biggest worry.
Yeah. This is just spinning. This side.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's pivoting on the spare tyre on the mud. That's my worry. What we've got to do is try and drag your ass end across a bit, but that's going to put your nose in the drink.
Yeah.
Tyre's not doing much. But if you go over, I've got to have a reasonable amount of length on the rope because I don't want you taking me with you. And you're going to be sitting in the driver's wheel, so you're on the ride of your life. Smile. We sure about this physics, boys? Because if we tip this truck over...
Hey guys, should we take the bags off just in case?
Yeah, well, you've got about an inch. We prefer you not to be on the roof, quite frankly.
Well, you take the bags off.
You haven't got a chain.
I've got a chain if you need it.
How long's a chain, mate?
It'll be, I don't know, 12 feet, something like that.
What? Chain. Yeah, we'll borrow it if we can.
Well, they're going to try and pull the bus sideways, and they need a chain because the snatch strap just won't be strong enough.
Yeah. You're going to get our recovery gear dirty.
Yeah, we get to use it.
We can't do that.
I was going to have to go and get bogged
go back on
otherwise.
top of it.
I need to be considered, doesn't it?
Hard, right?
Yeah. Why am I nervous? You got your seatbelt on?
Yeah, you can stand still on that.
What if I turn her around and we try to go in front?
I turned the truck around because the front wheels are slipping when they were trying to go in reverse. So I figured they put about 20 or 30 people on the bus, on the back wheels, that'll weigh it down and get some traction. And they're going to try to pull it sideways up out of the ditch. We're just using our chain and putting the shackle on, doing it properly because obviously we don't want to use brake.
Champion. Thank you.
You're my hero with that chain. Day in the life of a tour guide. I'm pretty happy with the result. I could have done without the dent in the back of my truck though. Crikey, have a look at this. Anything could have happened in there.
That was so lucky it didn't go over, eh?
Yeah, so lucky.
Well, after the morning's excitement, we're now heading down to Mount Elizabeth Station, which is about halfway across the Gibb River Road.
Oh, Jim. It's been a couple of weeks. How's the new kitchen going?
I love it. Everything's where I want it. At the right height. Means that we get to have some fresher things for lunch. We can stop and make lunch fresh.
Get cold stuff out of the fridge.
Get cold stuff out of the fridge and enjoy cold, fresh fruit.
Goes down well, doesn't it?
Like that. Yeah, perfect.
That's good.
Tell me how much it says on the bells in there.
Well, it must be an error because it says 191.9. I think well, it's probably about 60 cents a litre more than would be in the city.
400 k's to Kununurra.
Yeah.
And we're going to El Questro before we get to Kununurra.
Yeah. We've got about 500 k's range left in the car, but we're stopping at El Questro and we'll be, you know, scooting around there. So, you know, we don't want to be running into Kununurra basically on empty, that's for sure.
So how many litres are we going to get?
I'll just grab 100 litres. It's only a couple $100.
Yeah. So our budget at this point in time has been completely and utterly blown.
You'll notice that there's no fuel company stickers on the side of the car here.
This is the driveway into Mount Elizabeth Station, which runs about 30 kilometres in from the Gibb River Road. It gives you some perspective of how vast this country is when you have to drive 30 kilometres from the front gate to the front door. And here's another gate for Jen to open.
Thanks. We'll be coming out tomorrow on the next gate. So you just wait here with me.
Very own private campground.
We're the only ones here.
Yeah.
We might stay for a week.
It'd be nice for a couple of nights, I think.
Yeah.
Stay and chill out, I think.
She mentioned there's a gorge that you can go and have a look at. It's about 10 k's up the road.
Yeah, she said it takes about 50 minutes out because it's quite a rough road.
Yeah, it'll be a good one to see without the trailer.
And how cool to have a gorge on your own private property.
Yeah. Well, we'll get set up and crack a coldie.
Yeah, good idea.
Or we crack a coldie and then get set up.
No, we'll get set up and then get it. You know what we're like, once you get a coldie into you, that's it. Lazy
All
bugger.
work stops. We're at about the halfway mark in the whole trip. 8 months since we left in September and about 8 months till we finish in January. And we're about as far away from Melbourne as we could get.
Gee, we've got our itinerary planning done to a T, haven't we?
Yeah. So as a guy said to me the other day, he said, "Oh, where are you from?" And I said, "Melbourne." And he said, "Oh, well, it doesn't matter which way you're going, then you're heading home." And I sort of thought, yeah, I hadn't really thought about it like that, but...
Did you punch him?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me about that.
We're heading out this morning to check out the gorge that we heard about yesterday. It's about 10 kilometres down this track, followed by a 15-minute walk through the scrub.
We've seen quite a few fires in the last day or so. They just burn slowly across the countryside and no one really worries about it.
Glad you can see the track because I can barely make it out.
Well, this is the spot. Pink ribbon on the black stump, as per the map. Just whipping up lunch to take with us there, Jen. Is that the plan?
That's the plan.
What are we having today?
Cheese and Vegemite.
You're guilty!
Just for a change.
Let go!
Okay, this way, Sarah.
Hang on, Savannah. Daddy needs to go first and scare off anything that shouldn't be on the track.
It's nice to know I'm expendable.
The track down to the gorge is pretty well marked, so we shouldn't get lost.
That is spectacular. Look at that. This is where they would normally swim down here.
Yeah,
It'd be alright if you didn't have little children with you.
that's right.
Yeah.
Now, how would you like this in your backyard?
And this is one of the cakes here. I'm making sand cakes on the rock. There's water on them.
Alright, we ready to go?
Yes,
Had a good swim?
yes,
Had a good lunch?
yes,
Had a good day?
yes.
Now it's got to walk a kilometre back, drive 10 k's and we'll be there.
Somehow we've managed to have this place to ourselves
yeah.
all day. It's been like our own private gorge.
Well,
Well, we're going to make a campfire.
with damper.
So we're going to make some damper muffins, which are like little dampers about this big, look like English muffins, but you make them on the hot plate. Savannah's going to tell us about it. Come on then.
Okay, then we're gonna damper go in here.
Righto. So we've got some flour, about a kilo of flour.
And we've got some sugar.
Got some sugar, so we're going to put some sugar in there.
Yeah, and we've got some salt. And we've got some ginger. Whatever it is.
Yeast.
Yeast. And...
Yeah, we're going to try and make them a bit fluffier than normal heavy sugar. damper so we can use a bit of yeast.
Lots of sugar in.
It's going to make it a bit more cakey.
Well, more like bread, you know.
Okay.
We're just experimenting here.
Oh,
A
God.
little bit of salt in while you're mixing. Alright, you can see there's precision measuring here.
I'm hoping that we actually end up with something remotely edible.
You can actually make beer damper, but to me that's a waste of a good beer. Alright, so just gonna mix all that through.
I'm a measuring freak, aren't I?
Well, if I had a recipe, I'd probably use it, but we don't, so we're just making it up as we go. You want to lick the spoon down? Gonna be messy, just part of it. I've got myself a little board. I'm now gonna try and knead it into some kind of a bread kind of thing. You roll yours into a ball.
So have we got the right consistency that you're looking for there, Steve?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too.
Look at this, see? Making sausage rolls.
What's mine? Cut up, please.
Chop. There we go. So roll it in your hands like that. Right. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Get that off sometime next week.
Oh, that's a bit small, Dad.
Need to put them somewhere warm so the yeast can do its thing.
Yeah.
Taking about half an hour to rise up like that. Savannah's are still looking pretty mean.
This one over here is just mammoth.
This will be like, we'll be slicing that up for breakfast, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so.
Let the fire burn down to some coals. We'll just turn the temperature down a bit. You want them to slowly cook. That's it, just move that up to one side. Savannah's bread's actually coming up quite good. You can put these over. A little bit dark in the back, but that's been about 8-10 minutes. Okay, here's the moment of truth. Oh, look at that.
Check that out. Oh.
Is it melting? Shut the lid, let it melt through. And let's try it.
It's just dripping with butter and honey. It's just beautiful.
It's good. We'll be making these again. Today we're heading between Mount Elizabeth, where we stayed the last couple of days, and El Questro station. It's about 330 kilometres. It's basically the last half, or the eastern half of the Gibb River Road we're covering today. Some sections are very rough, and there's also a lot more water crossings like this one, the Durack River, which everyone's been talking about all the way across, like, oh, how high is the Durack, how high is the Durack? That's kind of the yardstick that everybody's looking for.
You ready?
Yeah, we'll give it a go. I think if he can do it, we can do it. Okay, I'm going to turn the air lockers on. Everything locked in that we can, stick it in low range. Okay, let's do it, guys.
Oh, Steve, you got your window down, so is that going to be alright?
Well,
We'll wait and see, I suppose, don't we?
Yeah, here we go. Is that a croc over there? Yeah, I think it was. Alright, well, it's definitely up to the headlights now. Got plenty of traction though, so we're not going to be stopping anytime soon.
We've got all the buttons on there.
We've got all the buttons pushed. There we go, look at that. Well, that wasn't too bad at all. You ready? Let's do it.
It's a puddle.
Is it? It might be 7 feet deep in the middle there.
It's actually quite wet. It's really
Yeah.
I really love this kind of driving where you never know what's going to be waiting for you around the corner. Lots of water crossings and rough stuff, cows and kangaroos, you just don't know what's coming up next.
It's just absolutely stunning. It's like crept up out of nowhere. It's just amazing. It's the right time of day for it as well. Oh, these are the Pentecost ranges, and behind that, the Salmon River and the Pentecost River. So over that side, there, is the Durack. Alright, We've got everything, all buttons pressed.
Yeah, now this is a serious crossing that we got here.
Yeah. It's one of those ones I'd like you to have two hands on the wheel for, Steve. Okay?
This is the Pentecost River, which has to be one of the widest river crossings in Australia, especially early in the dry season when the river's still high.
Slightly nervous. So Savannah by the sound of things. Halfway up the door.
When you're out here in the middle, you feel like you're in the middle of a lake, and there's crocs in this river, so you wouldn't want to get stuck.
Up the sides of the doors. It's a long way across, so we'll come up on the bottom.
Far out. Just keep going.
Go, baby, come on! Come on!
Oh my god, I can breathe now. Oh my god, that was forever, wasn't it?
Oh god, I thought we were losing it in the middle there.
Oh yeah, thanks for telling me that now.
I wasn't going to mention it.
Oh, Steve's going, how you going, alright there?
Oh yeah, cool, yeah, no worries.
It's been a long day, but we finally made it to our Questro as the sun's setting. It's another one of those long driveways though, 16 kilometres from the front gate to the campground, so it's going to be dark by the time we get there. El Questro Wilderness Park has 1 million acres of magnificent East Kimberley countryside. It's a great place to stop for a few days and get out and do some exploring. Well, there's certainly plenty to do here, including lots of helicopter joy flights. But with our non-existent budget, that's not really an option. So we're going to take a drive around instead and see what we can find. How good's the view from up here, eh?
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
So that's the homestead over there.
Yeah.
The one where you go when you've got lots of money. This is Branco's Lookout, and it's a pretty special place to sit and watch the sunset. Not a bad spot for a little post show, eh?
That's lovely. Getting excited, having a chat with you.
It's pretty volatile.
So does that make you want another one? Or,
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'll have another one. Right now. Let's get going.
How good's this dinner, eh? take us about 4 hours to prepare something like this.
All rescue it again.
So make the most of it.
I've got to kick that horse, drop this over his neck, and then bring it around and put it over. See?
Thank you, buddy.
I'm just going to pack up the trailer this morning, and we've realised that we've got our first breakage. Big crack. The roof rack that folds out here, and as we folded it back, it split. It's almost broken right through, which means we're going to have to stop here at El Questro and get it welded up. As long as it doesn't rust, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
So they've actually stuck something on there.
Yeah, he's welded some plates around it to give it more strength. Should be good as gold now.
So. Thanks very much. See you later.
From El Questro, it's an easy drive into Kununurra and the end of the Gibb River Road.
Well, sadly, we've reached the end of the Gibb River Road, and another fantastic part of our Around Australia adventure.
So the only problem with getting up somewhere is actually getting down, isn't it?
They could supply ladders.
Yeah, but maybe they don't want people up there.
Yeah, that's probably a factor.
You caught me by surprise then.
Today we're heading to Lake Argyle, which is Australia's largest man-made freshwater lake. So this is Lake Argyle, but we can actually only see a tiny piece of it from here.
Well, we've lost the girls. They've absconded, and we think they're off raiding someone else's dinner, but we're about to go and find out.
Metal plates not over here.
I'm thinking that they're probably they're being dinner guests. Look, here they are.
Here we are at the campfire.
Here they are.
Your lost children, you found
They're
them.
our
you
lost
found
children.
them.
They're
They
eating
ate
our neighbour's
good.
dinner.
What did I tell you was turkey?
Turkey.
Turkey and risotto.
You girls staying for good, or you're going to join us in the rest of the trip?
They said they were going to leave with us to go to Halls Creek tomorrow.
Oh, right.
Is there room?
You reckon?
We found ourselves a nice shady spot, which is lovely, and we're going to head on down and see Charlie, who is the owner of this place, so he's probably as qualified as anybody to tell us a bit about the history of the place.
Late 50s and 60s they did some experimental farming down near Kununurra. The Ord River is one of the top 3 flood rivers in Australia, and there's this massive big floodplain of fertile, rich black soil. The intention was to create a food bowl for Asia. So they built the diversion dam after some successful trial farms in Kununurra. They started that in '63, built the township of Kununurra, and the concentration was on cotton in Kununurra. The cotton was attacked by bugs, and it got worse and worse. The bugs became immune to anything they threw at them, and they were spending more money in the end on treating the crops for bugs than they were actually getting for the crop at the end of the day. Most of those cotton farmers then moved into rice. There was also, once again, a rice mill was established and a huge big boom. No rice. Asia's right up next door. Let's just make as much rice as we can. We've got heaps of sun, heaps of water. And then the good old magpie goose, which is pretty prevalent in the territory and also through Asia. They came down, they trampled it all into the mud, which made it impossible to harvest. By the time Lake Argyle was completed and full, everyone thought it was a failure. So the whole country virtually looked at this thing as a big white elephant. Very quietly, though, a lot of those farmers that moved into Kununurra to grow cotton or rice, they started experimenting with bananas and concubits, your melons and your cucumbers and pumpkins and different grain crops, seeds. They were playing around, and very, very quietly they built up a business that was actually better than the rice or cotton. They grew crops that were suitable to the tropics, and yeah, before they knew it, they had a very successful industry.
The original pioneers in this area were the Durack family, and their Argyle Downs homestead would have been flooded under Lake Argyle, but it was saved and rebuilt here as a museum to the Durack history.
Well, the Durack family, whose house we're sitting in, would have been 70 feet underwater had it not been moved. They came from the Channel Country near Quilby in 1883, arrived in 1886.
The Durack family were a pretty tough bunch, and after leaving Ireland in the mid-1800s with barely the clothes on their back, they managed to build themselves a sheep and cattle empire in Queensland and New South Wales before setting their sights on the East Kimberley. In 1883, they drove over 7,000 head of cattle from Queensland across the Northern Territory and into the East Kimberley and built their home near the mighty Ord River. At the time, it was the largest cattle drive in Australia's history, taking over 2 years and losing over half the cattle and several men along the way. Over the next 65 years, led mainly by Michael Durack, or MP as he was known, the Duracks continued to build their empire before eventually selling most of it in 1950. But their legacy lives on though, because it was MP's son Kimberley Durack whose vision it was to dam the Ord River and create an unlimited water supply to fuel agriculture on the black soil plains around what we now know as Kununurra. In the 1960s, his vision finally became a reality with the construction of the Kununurra Diversion Dam and the town of Kununurra in 1963. And then 7 years later, the construction of the Ord Dam 50 kilometres upstream, which created Lake Argyle, and effectively an infinite water supply. The Ord River scheme's had its ups and downs, but these days it seems that it's all moving forward pretty well, with further expansion currently underway that's going to more than double the amount of irrigated farmlands.
So the homestead here was relocated once the dam was constructed?
When the dam was being, almost when it's finished, they pulled it down. In '76 this house was rebuilt, and it's now a memorial to these pretty tough people.
Now, you can't come all the way out to Lake Argyle without getting out on the lake to see it up close, so we're off on a boat cruise to check it out.
See you later.
Greg Smith owns Lake Argyle Cruises, and he knows this lake like the back of his hand. First stop on the cruise is the Ord Dam itself, which was finished in 1972.
Reasonably small dam wall here. It's a natural product wall, compacted clay in the core with armour rock on either side. Makes it extremely cheap and reasonably fast to build as well. All the material was quite close to the dam wall site. They weren't using the concrete to construct it. And that gives them an enormous body of water to be able to trickle feed down to Lake Kununurra all year round.
The lake is literally teeming with fish, and one species of catfish called the silver cobbler is fished commercially. There's even a few barramundi in the lake, although not many.
They have a lot of trouble finding their food. If you were to make a little bit of noise, generally speaking,
we have up to 25,000 freshwater crocodiles at the moment. Unfortunately, we have the approach of the cane toad, which is going to impact significantly on a lot of the wildlife in this area.
Lake Argyle is the biggest man-made freshwater lake in Australia, and it's hardly surprising given the amount of water that flows down the Ord River. In fact, in full flood, the only river in the world that discharges more water is the Amazon in South America. To put that in perspective, that's enough water flowing down the river in 1 hour to supply the city of Perth for 10 years. If only there was an economical way to get that water to the southern states. The size of the lake varies depending on the amount of rain in the wet season, but it's normally around 1,000 square kilometres in size with up to 27 times more water than Sydney Harbour. What I find really amazing is that there's just nobody here. The lake's a public waterway, but because it's so remote, there's virtually no boats here. You could cruise around all day and feel like you had the whole lake to yourself. We're heading into the wetlands at the southern edge of the lake where the Ord River feeds in. It's a haven for birdlife like this giant jabiru which are found across the top of Australia. Greg's going to try and entice one of these sea eagles to swoop in and grab a fish from the water. Should be a good photo opportunity. Fantastic. This is so spectacular. There's absolutely no wind now when we're doing about 70 kilometres an hour. It's like we're flying across a giant sheet of glass.
For anybody sort of having a think about not swimming, we do have beer, red wine, white wine and champagne for the swimmers.
Fair enough.
Really nice tea, coffee, cold water down the back for the non-swimmers.
Well, I've come out here this morning with Peter, who's one of the surveyors here, doing their annual measurements of the dam and making sure it's all staying where it should be. And we've come out here to the spillway just before dawn. We've got out here about 4:30 doing a bit of barra fishing. The barra swim up this spillway back into the dam. It's a bit like the salmon in Canada. It's a really amazing place. There's actually a lot of dead crocodiles on the edge here. They've basically been trying to swim up in this spillway here, and they just get so tired that they end up crawling over the side and they die on the edge. Where's all the fish, mate? You got them. When we got out here, I just threw my line in casually, caught the first fish of the day on the first cast. I must say I'm pretty happy with it. This is what fishing's all about. Yeah, it's not a bad size.
I'll make a few dinners.
Oh yeah. Smile. This is not going to fit in the car fridge, let me tell you.
Quick, I want to take a photo in case this is the nearest you get to a Barramundi.
Well, I brought the barra back to the caravan park and these guys were very keen to help me fillet it, but not before getting a photo.
Carrie, have you got to see your face?
This guy looks like he actually knows what he's doing, Steve.
No, he doesn't. This is all guesswork. We went in the other day and he caught a little catfish and we were excited.
You're right, sweet.
I reckon we're going to hold a meal out of this one, Jen.
You think?
I didn't want him to get off, so I sort of actually stuck my hand in his mouth and dragged him. Got him up. Yeah. If he bites on, that'll be a good hold and then we'll get him up. That's what's left. Filling about, I reckon, 6 kilos lighter, I reckon. Means we've got some good fillets. That's not bad, bit of meat off the fish, eh?
Yeah.
2 inches thick.
Daddy, is that how much meat we're going to eat?
Well, we're going to share it with everybody here, though, because we couldn't possibly eat all this, could we? I reckon we'll eat about that much.
You know, now he's some culinary expert.
Yeah. I've been watching, what's the show, Jamie Oliver? Yeah. I watched one of his shows once. Right, we'll get them going.
Morning sketch on the barbie, eh?
Not bad, eh?
Not bad at all, you lucky bastard.
Let's see how they're looking.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Oh.
Steamed barra fillet.
Okay.
It's all good.
Steamed, okay? Steamed. Put it on there and I'll wrap it out.
Yeah, steamed.
Well, we managed to get 24 good-sized pieces out of those 2 barra fillets, and it was great to share them with the other campers. It's given me an idea, though, about how we might be able to make a few extra dollars for our budget, so we might be coming back.
These things are selling like hotcakes. I can't believe how easy it is to get rid of them. How much are we charging for them?
Nothing.
Yeah.
And go!
750,000 wild coming from Australia.
25 people attend our first pancake breakfast. There's a bushfire in the area. We have to walk out.